Welcome back to the Webby O'Neill channel, and it's a match preview. Manchester United versus Manchester City in the Community Shield. It's not a major trophy, but it's a trophy I'm sure Erik Ten Hag and the players will want to win.
Yeah, they'll want to win, and what you have to do is you have to look at it and say, it's derby day. Surely Man United fans all want to win, and I suppose the same would be for Manchester City. But coming up to this game, I've got two questions I've been asking myself. And one, does it matter if we win? Yeah, it's derby day. It'd be nice. But the reality of it is we've got a poor side out there what's not fit. And when I say poor side, I mean unfit. But Manchester City are exactly the same. It matters to win just for one day. That's how I'm looking at it. It won't matter going forward to getting a league position or anything like that, even for Manchester City. The other thing I've been looking at is what happens if we lose. That's fine if we lose, but we can't lose badly. That's how I'm looking at it. We have to put a performance in and not lose badly. So winning is great just for the day. Losing is fine just for the day. But we cannot lose badly. And the same goes for Manchester City.
I've got to admit, when you said it's fine if we don't win, it did send shivers up my spine. I'm not going to lie to you, because every game that you go into against, especially Liverpool, Man City, you want to win that game. Like we said earlier on, it's not a major trophy, but it's a trophy. And in particular for Manchester United, it'll be a good kickstart to start our season off right, surely.
Yeah, it'll be a nice little kickstart, a nice boost for United and for City. And when I say like winning and losing, yes, it's important that we put in a performance. That's the most important thing. And I can understand people out there thinking, we can't lose, or, we've got to do this, we've got to do that. Listen, the players aren't fit enough at the moment for both sides. Yeah. And it's all about getting fitness and getting game time. And that's what I expect to see in this game. It will be competitive, but only at certain points. Remember, lots of players have not had game time, so there will be lots of substitutes by both sides. That takes away the competitive edge. But I still want to see, especially in that first half, a competitive game against Manchester City. It is derby day.
A lot of mixed reactions, really, on our actual pre-season, and a lot of fears going into the actual Premier League season. And what's your thoughts on it? Because I've not been too down. I've not been too disappointed from what I've actually seen in pre-season. I think there's been some positives there. That Rashford looks like he's back on his game. Mason Mount as well. Hopefully he can stay fit and we can start seeing him play at the start of the season as well.
I think when you look at the pre-season, people were positive all over. Manchester United fans were. Okay, we got two early signings in. We got Zirkzee in and we got Lenioro. That put the positive in, and people were looking, especially when you look at Lenioro at Rangers. He played well, and yeah. you look at Ireland, an injury there we did not need. Now, at the end of the day, I'm looking at it, Zirkzee, there's a positive. We will be watching him against Manchester City, and with Højlund out, it's important that he gets it right.
Yeah, important that he does actually get some minutes. Obviously, we don't know where he's exactly up to in his training regime, his fitness levels, but it's one to look forward to against Manchester City, to see how he gets on as well. And maybe he can then start against Fulham in the Premier League, but it's all about fitness for both sides, this, getting minutes.
Yeah, it's about fitness, and hopefully he gets on there and gets quite a few minutes. And then if he's fit enough, he should be starting against Fulham on the Friday night. But I'll just look at it. Both sides have got injuries. They've got people missing.
I've got a point to the defence for Manchester United, especially that centre-back position.
The defence?
Yeah, Harry Maguire. He was, he got took out of the squad as a precaution against Liverpool over there in America. Johnny Evans, is he going to start this one? I think it's likely he will start, maybe alongside Lindelof, depending on where Martinez is up to with his fitness as well.
I think that might be the starting option. It's not the best option, and I'm sure Manchester City have got the same problems at the back. But I just look at it and think, yeah, it'll be competitive. Johnny Evans, Lindelof, they'll do fine. They know what they're doing. They might get 45 minutes. They might get 60 minutes. They'll put in the effort. That's what you want. And when you look at the goalkeeper, Onana, he says it's going to be exciting. We've got to play out from the back.
He's going to take more risks, he said.
Well,
Get used to it.
More risks. Well, what came to start off with Manchester City, more risks. But I don't think there'll be that many risks, really. I think both sides will be looking at it as an exercise of getting the players up to scratch, bit of fitness in it, and a bit of game time. Risks. Is this the game to start risks? I don't think so. You don't really see risks being taken. When you look at it, how can they take risks, both sides? They've both had a poor pre-season. And when I mean that, I mean the time for preparation. People talk about 6 weeks, full 6 weeks. No sides had that. So it's a problem for this game. But it's Derby Day, and there might be a few little surprises brought in. But clearly, United have to start and look as though they're a proper football side.
Yeah, I'm not too disappointed with Johnny Evans starting. Look, it's not our ideal signing who we want in to be a centre-back for Manchester United, you know, over a course of a Premier League season. But it'll be interesting to see how he gets up against Erling Haaland. I think he scored an hat-trick the other night. Was it against Chelsea? So he's going to be looking more hungry for goals as well. And when he does see Evans and Lindelof start, that's a possible lineup. I'm sure he'll be licking his lips. But as Manchester United fans, I'm excited for this one. I've missed the actual Premier League as we're drawing closer now. What is it, roughly 8 days away until Fulham? I'm actually really looking forward to this. And I think all of the fans out there should be as well.
Yeah, you should be excited. I'm excited. And like I say, winning, losing, there's options there, what I've said. Some people might agree, some people might not. But I just look at it overall. Johnny Evans there, you know, you mentioned him there. And he'll be up for the fight. Yeah. That's the one thing about Johnny Evans. He's up for the fight. But I've got to look at the new coaching regime. This is their first big test. They all speak together, that they're all on the same page and everything. But it's going to be interesting to see that sideline. How did they react to the changes on the pitch? Will they be proactive? What I've wanted to see, and lots of United fans have wanted to see, is people on the sidelines being proactive, talking through the game, instructing the players, giving them what you call a bollocking from the sideline. Yeah,
so something that we've not really seen on a regular basis before, where we see the coaching staff on the sideline giving instructions as well, because it's not something we're really seeing under Van der Gaag and Steve McLaren there. It was always Erik ten Hag on the sideline himself. But it'd be interesting to see the tactics. Will he make a change like he did in the FA Cup final with a false nine? Will we actually see Jadon Sancho start up top as the false nine, or will he play Bruno Fernandes there? So there is questions there as well. On the right-hand side, Ahmad, 90% of the people on this channel think Ahmad should start at least 3 or 4 games into the season to see what he can do, cement his place. So there is a lot of question marks there, and players in the squad who will be fighting for the places early on in the season.
There'll be players fighting for the places, but most of all, I look at it, Sancho, will he be up there as the false number 9? And if he's there as the false number 9, you might see that tactics coming in. And the coaching staff altogether, that includes Erik ten Hag, they're all on the same page. That's what I'm listening, that's what I'm reading from all accounts from them. They all understand what needs to be done. Well, we need to see it against City at Wembley on Saturday. It starts there. Big, big moment for the coaching staff here now. All changes, and that's what we want. Changes.
Yeah, the likes of Rodri will be out for Man City. It might actually be replaced with Calvin Phillips. You'll probably see Jack Grealish start. And for me, I'm looking at Rashford in this game. I think it's a big game for him to actually perform and show us that he can actually start the season off bright and a lot better than he actually played last season. And I think he'll be up for this one, Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, he's not had the greatest of pre-season. He's not sort of exploded onto the scene and that. But this is an opportunity for him to start well and then carry on. It will give everybody a lift if he performs like people know he can. But the thing is, it's a big question, and there's a big question over the future of some of them, some other players on there. Can they do it? They have to raise the game. The momentum inside the squad, around the camp, is buoyant. So at the end of the day, let's see it on the pitch, and let's get off to a good start going into that Premier League starting on Friday.
Big question I've got for you and everyone out there is that midfield area as well. A lot of people, well, they're frustrated that we've not been able to bring anyone in as of yet into that midfield. It was a big question, and well, for fans coming out of the ground watching it on telly last season, it was always getting mentioned, that midfield. It's wide open, there's gaps there, you can fit buses through it.
Yeah.
And it's only ever going to change if the tactics change, but it's something that I can't see changing the tactics.
Well, Well, it's something if the tactics change, and that's what we've got to look at. And also, if by the end of the transfer window, someone else is brought in. But I do look at that midfield, and I look at one player what's absent, and that's Dan Gore. Dan Gore's been absent, and I think he was primed to come in there, and he suffered an injury, a shoulder injury, operation on it, and there's no sign of him coming back. Yeah. So I think when you look at the midfield, there was a youngster there being primed to be brought in, just like Ahmad, just like Manu. So unfortunately for Dan Gore, he's not in there, not been on the pre-season because of a serious injury, and we might have seen like a young gem developing and ready to start this season. Listen, the transfer window might change it all, but unfortunately, that's the kid I miss being in the midfield because he was playing well and it looked good for him for the future. But hey,
I think he only just signed the contract as well about 12 months ago, and you an improved deal as well. And you look at it, without Amrabat in that midfield area, we're actually lighter than what we finished the season. Last season, so we need to start getting bodies in. We've only replaced we've replaced Varane with Euro, who's currently out injured. You know, got Zirkzee in, who's replaced Martial, which is a bonus because Martial was like a ghost in the last 12 to 18 months at Man United. So that's an actual physical body there, and someone who's got a lot more potential and an exciting player who we're all waiting to see.
I look at the personnel, what we've got. You know, people thought some players should have been moved on. I could give you a list of names, but I'm not going to because I'm just repeating myself. Yes, we wanted other players in, and we've got players injured. It's not the greatest start of the squad. Injuries, people missing and all that. But hey, let's get up for this. Let's get behind the team, okay? Let's get any disappointment or not brought this player in, any negativity. Let's get it out the window. It's Derby Day. It's Wembley. And let's have a good game and let's get the right result.
Like I was saying there about transfers, players going out and coming in, you know, like-for-like replacements near enough at the moment. It's not actually beefing up the actual size and the quality of the squad. But one positive is if we can keep Martinez, Luke Shaw and Mason Mount fit 90% of the games each for the season. That's a big lift because of what we didn't have him for last season. And that will add something to the squad, surely, without a doubt.
If they avoid injury throughout the season, that would be fantastic. But it's a big if. Many games, could end up with about 60 games. I think it's a tough ask, to be honest with you. The squad at this moment, when you look at it, isn't big enough. They might add to it. And it's fingers crossed on the injury front.
Like Erik said recently, a couple of weeks ago, the leadership team is eager still to do business when the right opportunities come along. And a lot of shout out there for Sander Berge. He looks like he's potentially coming to Manchester United as a midfield option. Will we go out and sign any more? Who knows? But there's still a couple of weeks at least left in this transfer window. So, yeah, let us know your thoughts and opinions going into this match. We're happy. We're positive. We're ready for it. I'm really looking forward to it. And just on a side note, we will be actually doing a watch-along for the match. So if you are available, you want to come and join us, come and watch us and get involved in the chat. You're wet. Absolutely soaking wet. The rain did come down earlier on. We was meant to do an actual live stream at 2 p.m, but it's actually stopped now, to be fair. It's just our luck. It's the Manchester weather. You think after 39 years of actually living here, you'd think I'd actually know what the weather's like, but it was one of them days.
Listen, it was raining, and who's inside directing the organisation to get rid of all the gear? Him, and left me outside. But hey, that's what dads do. They run around for the sons.
Up here. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Smash that like button if you've enjoyed the video. You want to help support us. And we'll be back tomorrow, definitely, from Hotel Football, doing a live stream. So get that notification on, and we'll see you tomorrow. Much love. Thank you.